Hey, good morning, B-Maddies. It's the 27th of March and I'm here at Speed Superbike Centre in Exeter. Let's go and see what they got, shall we? So, just have a little walk round. Bought loads of bikes from these guys. They've been absolutely incredible over the years, so here we go. Well, the first thing I've spotted, look at that, CVO Springer. Seriously collectible. And that is actually in very, very, very nice condition. It's got the 110 motor. You don't see these very often, particularly in this colour, to be honest. I think it's about £19,000, so they seriously held their money, big time. So walking around, what have we got then? CBR, 28,000 miles, 3.8. It's good value, isn't it? I mean, you got a nice Triumph Speed, 11,000 miles. Hello, Paul, right?
Hello, Cap.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm absolutely fine, mate.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. Up here again.
Yes.
You know what I'm like.
I do. Always like something different, something unusual.
Well, I come in here to have a chat with you and often end up with a bike. That's happened.
Plan, you know that. That's
yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, you've always got such an amazing selection of bikes. You know, there's, as I was saying to the guys earlier, that you know you can have something, I don't know, a couple grand right the way up to 50, isn't it? Which you got over there. So
the difference is because we're all bikers. You know, we like to think that there's something in here for everybody.
There is.
So if you're coming back to biking, you want to spend a couple of grand, we've got that as well.
Yeah.
If you've been biking and you're ready for that, you know, that dream purchase, the Harley you've been saving up for 20 years, we got that as well. So people come in for inspiration because being an independent dealer, we're going to have 50s, 60s classic bikes up to 2024, nearly new bikes. So a bit of everything for everyone. Yeah,
and stock is always changing.
Exactly.
You can be here one day and the next day, you know, there's big changes. You know, so you sell a lot of bikes. I know that.
Well, this weekend, I think we sold nearly 10 bikes over the weekend.
Yeah.
So if you imagine 10 bikes missing out that row just over a couple of days, stock changes. Well, I say literally every day we can put 4, 5, 6 bikes a day into stock.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, that leads me to, so where do you get your bikes?
3 or 4 ways. Most common way is obviously a bike will just come in part exchange. You know, one in, one out sort of thing. We've taken 3 or 4 bikes in part exchange against one bike. Okay. So that's one way.
That's good.
Obviously, we're always advertising. We're always out there looking for stock. If someone's got a nice clean bike they want to sell, that's a bike we just look to buy.
Yeah.
We're also basically an underwrite centre as well. And what that means is, you know, if you get a soulless Honda dealer, all they're allowed to sell is Hondas. This one rolls up with a Ducati. Right. Well, they'll call us.
So you underwrite it that way.
Yeah. They'll call us to say, you know, we've got a bike that we want to sell. Or that's coming in part exchange through them. We'll give them a bid on that, and if we're the highest bidder, we get it. We get a nice clean bike. Helps them sell the bike they've got.
So say I lived in Yorkshire and I had a bike, and is it worth them phoning you up? Could you collect from there?
Yeah, we can. I mean, obviously Yorkshire's a fair way from us, obviously being in sunny Devon. Yeah. So it would more or less be a case of, you know, have we got something going that way? Okay, you know, so it's no major hurry. Okay. Yeah, we've done that. All right, so it's not... we're delivering a bike to, you know, the Midlands, right? You know, we can come up and have a look and go from there. But
so obviously you're saying it's possible?
It's definitely possible. Okay,
well that's cool. So all right, so what have you got today then?
So what haven't we got?
Well, I was going to say that you got Road Kings. You got a Warrior. I haven't seen one of those for a while.
Yeah, Fat Bob, and then obviously, you know, Triumph sort of equivalents.
Triumph
Bobber, Speedmaster over there. Even back down to an early California.
A Guzzi, exactly. Yeah. In fact, I noticed you got 2 Guzzis in today.
We've got
you got loads of
there as well, and it's obviously down the bottom there as well. We've got a fair few of those.
V7. I got to say, mate, this Suzuki, I paid that for one of those new.
Yes.
I did.
The thing is, GSX 1400, CB 1300, ZRX 1200, that sort of thing. You know, your old school sort of, you know, muscle bikes.
They retain the money, aren't they?
They really do.
Yeah. Well, they don't make them like that. Look at that. No. Look at that seat. Look at it. It's gorgeous. They don't make them like that. They make them like that now, don't they?
A lot of people just call them a proper bike. You know, you've got a big engine, tank, set of wheels, nice comfortable seats. Yeah. Perfect all rounder. You could go touring on it.
It's
brilliant.
You
can use it for a blast at the weekend. You can use it for absolutely everything.
And that engine's so under stress, doesn't it?
Oh gosh,
it just goes on and on. Yeah. Right, so we've got a BMW here. Rather nice.
Yeah, R90 Scrambler.
And again, 1,900 miles. I don't know, how much are they new, do you know?
Well, really, you've got to keep an eye on what's happening in the moment with the current press, aren't they? Because obviously there are a lot of people doing deals on new stuff, because unlike used dealers like ourselves, you know, for us, selling the bikes isn't a problem. Pretty much the price itself sells the bike. Yeah. For us, it's getting the bikes to replace it. We sell so many bikes, we've got to keep that stock coming in.
Yeah, you have.
New dealers, obviously, when you've got Euro 5 and all the rest of it, they're having to pre-reg bikes because they need to sell them, because obviously they can't sell them when the new regs come in. Right. So a lot of those are doing deals on new stuff. Right. Obviously, we have to keep an eye on that, because obviously we have to adjust our figures down with what's happening on a daily basis. Yeah. So really, you know, it's you know, what it was last week is one thing, what it is this week is another.
Right.
We've always got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah. Well, it's a changing world, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
I think with Mr. Trump as well doing his bit. I think I'm not sure what's going to happen with the resale. You know, the residual values of bikes. Are they going to go up? I don't know.
They've just obviously they've just put a 25% tariff on new cars going into the States. I know there's tariffs on Harleys, because obviously they're coming from the States. Yeah, they've just put those on there, so that's going to have an effect on the price of new.
Well, that's not going to. I mean, Harley are in big trouble anyway, aren't they?
It's not going to help them.
No. What about Indian? Do you know?
If they're built in America, you know, there would be a tariff on that as well.
I know. Staggering.
So anything coming in from the States, it's reciprocal tariffs, isn't it? Unfortunately, it doesn't do anyone any.
So hey, that could help you guys with second-hand values.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's good. Yeah. Right then, so we've got a Ducati there. Look, they're sweet. I always like those.
Yeah. Yes.
CCM. That's a Spitfire, is it? Is that the Spitfire? Yeah. It's gorgeous.
Spitfire Maverick. Obviously, there's about, I lost count, about 15, 20 different variations of the Spitfire, from a scrambler to a flat tracker to the bobber, but they're all based on the same chassis. Obviously different wheels, different bits and bobs, different exhaust, different seats on there, all based on that same single cylinder engine.
It's beautifully engineered though, isn't it? I mean, it really, look at this.
You can tell they're bespoke.
They are very bespoke.
You could take, the mounting bracket off the headlight and put it on your wall.
It's gorgeous.
All the billet aluminium work on them. They are absolutely brilliant.
Stunning bike. Yeah. How much is that then?
That one is 9995.
Yeah, with 253 miles on it.
Exactly. It's that sort of bike is always going to be a bike that someone cherishes. They're going to take out on a sunny day. You're probably never ever going to see the rain.
Look at that is gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah, the Monza tank tap on there.
Beautiful.
On there.
Yeah, beautiful, isn't it? And I tell you what, this the Falco, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't see many of those.
No.
Really quite rare, that.
I think they're probably. I mean, they came out at the same time as obviously as the Millet.
Yeah.
And basically, it was meant to be sort of like the next step before you get onto a Millet.
Yeah, to a Tourer version, isn't it?
I think it's a better looking bike.
I do.
I think it's stunning. That trellis frame, aluminium trellis frame, same V twin engine as the Millet.
Yeah. I know it's a stunning, and that engine's well proven. Yeah, so it's really strong. Yeah. Right, how much is that then? Because I tell you what, you're going to be surprised at this, because I know. There you go, 3.5.
3495. And again, 12,000 miles, and it is literally as clean as a pin.
It is. It's a cracker, isn't it? That one.
Been very well looked after. That one.
Beautifully looked after. For $3,500, you got an awful lot of motorcycle.
Yeah. And the thing is, if it looks and it's got similar mileage to a 2-3-year-old bike, you just literally saving a massive amount of money.
Well, I mean, it's crazy.
Something a bit different, because obviously, as you said, they didn't sell that many.
No, they didn't. No.
You pull up and you're not going to be in a crowd of these wherever you pull up. Put it that way.
No, it's always going to stand out, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always going to. Great bike, that. Great bike. Right, so we've got something electric now. So that's right, 690 mile. Yeah. I've got to ride one. I haven't ridden one.
If you haven't, they are absolutely. If you've never ridden one, they are actually quite extraordinary, because the amount of torque they produce with electric vehicles is from nothing. So you open the throttle, and whereas on an R1, which this probably produces 3 times the amount of torque of an R1, you've got to build the power up to get that torque. This is from the second you open the throttle. Yeah. And we're in some beautiful lanes on a nice sunny day. Yeah, it's actually nice to be able to ride through the lanes and hear what's going on around. You hear the birds singing and the cows mooing and all the rest of it.
Really,
they're almost silent.
Yeah, but also it's a bit like do you remember the Skeletric?
That's right.
Isn't it like a Skeletric car? I mean, is that the sort of power where it's?
It really is. Yeah, the torque is there instant.
Yeah.
And the thing is, with these now, you've got Type 2 charging on one of these, so basically you could go touring on this.
Type 2, what does that mean?
Basically, if you're with the electric cars, there's the different charger points on them.
Oh, okay.
Type 2 is a common one you can pull up at most petrol stations or charging stations and just plug that in.
Yeah, excellent.
And then off you go again. Yeah. They actually do a bespoke touring bike before that now with the full luggage and all the rest of it.
Do they? But I got it. It's a nice looking bike actually. Yeah. It's still got the features. I mean, look at this. Look down here, you've got these radial brakes, isn't it?
Upside down suspension, radial brakes, monoshock suspension on the back.
Yeah, it's a proper bike, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
It is a proper bike. Yeah. And I don't know, again, do we know how much those are new?
They are, now they again, don't hold me to this because obviously the prices change at the time, but you're literally probably looking at double that.
Yeah. So it's good fun. I mean, and it's got 690 mile on that.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter, does it, really?
No, and the thing about electric vehicles is that the battery technology is proven to far outlast any predictions they ever had. You're talking at for example, the old Nissan Leaf. That was a nearly over a 20-odd-year-old car now. 15-20-year-old car, and those batteries are still going strong.
Yeah, they are. It was like. They've proven themselves, haven't they? They have proven themselves.
Yeah, they came out in sort of 2011, and in 2025 they're still going around with 75%, 80% of the battery capacity. So these, the thermal management of the modern batteries are a lot better than they used to be as well. So these will go on, pretty much indefinitely.
Oh, I think so. Yeah, it's great. It's good. And it's also a fun bike to ride too.
Oh, amazing! Yeah. Because you've got all the conventional suspension chassis of a normal motorcycle, but obviously you've got all that instant torque from pretty much nowhere.
Right, but character, has it got the character?
They've got their own character.
Oh, okay.
I've ridden several of these now, and it is. I mean, you don't have a lot of bikes are defined by the noise they make. Harley, Triumph, single cylinder bikes and all the rest of it.
So they've got a different.
It's a different character, but they have when you feel that torque. It's a very, very.
I must take one out because I need to, don't I? Before I can come up with any opinion. To be honest, I do love these. I must be honest. I think these are great. And look at this at 546 miles. I actually met the guy that owned that.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, over at the pit stop, the cafe over there.
Yeah.
And I said to him, why did you sell it? He said, I just can't help myself. He said, I just need to. He constantly buys motorbike. You obviously know the guy as well. But it's a beautiful bike. Both are actually, aren't they? Yeah. Really nice. Nice.
Someone who likes a traditional motorcycle, I would basically say this is, an Italian version of a Triumph Bonneville.
It is,
in the fact that you've got a really traditional-looking bike, nice big engine again, tank, set of wheels, set of bars, everything you would find on a traditional, almost 70s bike. But you've got modern electrics, model fuel injection. Obviously, the Guzzies, you have the benefit of shaft drive as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, it's a bike that you can ride to your local classic meet, if you like, not look out of place, but also then go touring on the thing.
Well, the seat's comfortable. Yeah. I've got a TT85 Guzzi.
Yes.
Same engine.
It will be,
and I love it. I tell you, honestly, for an 850, it goes really well. I was quite surprised. I was riding it down the motorway and I decided to go down a gear and go for it. And I thought, do you know what? It does actually go really well.
And better than anyone, it's the character.
It is.
That's V-twin engine.
Yeah. Oozes character.
They really do. If you like something a bit different from the crowd, they've definitely got the character.
Well, I do love that. I must be honest. Right then, so whipping down here, there's another Guzzi, the Z900. They're great, aren't they? Great bikes. Look, 2,495 quid Bandit.
Exactly that spectrum we're on about. If someone wants a second bike, say they've got a Harley or something quite special, a classic bike in the garage, and they don't want to drag that out and on a day it might get wet, then obviously something like this.
Perfect, isn't it?
But then if someone wants a cheap commuter to go to work on, or if they want a first bike, that would fall into that
It's
category.
absolutely perfect. And the Hondas are great. There's another Honda, look, for 300. Mate, honestly, also bikes, I think of this sort of age, they tend to hold on to the value. They're always worth that sort of money, isn't it? You know, retail wise. They haven't really gone down, have they?
No, bikes will get down to a certain level, and
stay
things
there.
like a normal motorcycle like the CBF or whatever, that'll stable out, and you can't look at that and not go, wow, that's a lot of bike for the money. That's always going to be worth a reasonable amount.
Well, it is, because look, you got on this one, you got the bags, the box, the top box. You know, it's an 18,000 miles, which is absolutely nothing. My age is 06, so yeah, okay, it's 19 years old now, isn't it?
But condition-wise, you think it was
really
a 2 or 3 year old bike?
Yeah, it's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, it's one of those bikes you go around the world on it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was a nice old fat boy. I had one of those. Right, so we've done this side, haven't we? Really. So right, this one when I walked in, I saw that. That's how many miles is that done? Do we know?
Not off the top of my head. I'd have to go and grab the key to do.
Yeah, well,
this way I know it's not done a lot because they never.
Yeah, well, don't worry. I mean, it's 19. Is it 19 grand?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was saying to everybody earlier that these are rare. Yeah. In this colour, I think even more rare. There's a blue and there's a green one. And I think there's this yellow one. I haven't seen a yellow one before.
No, we've had blue, we've had green in. I think this is the first yellow one.
I haven't seen it yet. It's the first time I've seen a yellow one.
Yeah.
But no, that's gorgeous. Again, they won't depreciate. You know, it's always going to be that sort of money, isn't it?
And again, for people who don't know, CVO stands for Custom Vehicles Operation.
Yeah.
Harley Davidson will take a model and they'll do a limited run of them in a bespoke colour. They'll obviously upgrade the engine and bespoke wheels.
Well, it's got the 110 engine, which is awesome. That it flies, doesn't it?
And of course the Springer, because they don't make the Springers anymore.
No.
Very, very, very sought after.
They really are. It's a gorgeous looking bike, isn't it? So right, moving on then. So again, that's just one row. So how many bikes are in that row then? 12, 15?
Yeah.
So it's 24. So we've seen 24 bikes already. So here we go. So we've got the Harleys. I'm realising you've got customers in as well, Paul. So if you want to, you're more than welcome, mate, to see your customers, or you can hang around me if you like. I don't mind.
Well, again, if you want to have a look, I'll keep going round. But if you've got any questions, of course, give us a shout. But a lot of it's self-explanatory with the tickets on the bike.
Yeah,
that's all on there.
So warranty-wise, let's just talk about warranties. People need to know about that. So when you get a bike in, what do you do?
2 types, well, obviously 3 or 4 types of different bikes. But for example, if you take the Triumph in front of us, that's basically a nearly new machine. So if there's the manufacturer's warranty left on there, obviously that's you take into consideration. If a bike is outside of its manufacturer's warranty, so say over 2 years old, they go through our workshop, everything's done that needs doing, and then you get 3 months unconditional warranty. We actually subsidise the main cost of that down, so it's basically £75 to pay. Internally it costs us about £175, but that gets you 3 months unconditional warranty. If you're looking at an older bike, say if you're looking at a 20-year-old bike or whatever, they still go through the workshop. They have a full 56-point safety check. And obviously because you're buying it from a dealer, that means you get the protection of the equivalent of the consumer rights warranty. So anything major like engine and gearbox, that's all covered. So peace of mind through buying from a dealer.
Well, it is peace of mind, and honestly, and that that could save you a lot of money. Mind you, bikes are reliable now, aren't they? I'm always remember when I had a 900 Honda. I think it got to about 15,000 miles, and I thought, time to sell now, because I really don't know how long this engine, how strong it is. But they are, aren't they? Bikes, I mean, they've phased 1,000, 100,000 miles. I've seen, the MT7. Somebody was 175,000 miles. The secret is to keep riding them, isn't it? Not
use
just
them regularly, serviced, keep them clean.
Absolutely. Keep changing on. That's good value. That's a lovely, nice looking Bonnie. That. So T120, 10,000 miles, £7,795, and that is really nice, isn't it? Gorgeous,
beautiful bike.
Yeah, cracking bike. Look, here we go. Look, a V-rod. That's a street rod, isn't it? Of course it is, not a V-rod,
It's the performance version.
It is really nice. And then we've got the Speedmaster, the £3.5 grand. honestly, mate, you've got everything here, haven't you? Another Guzzi with 1,300 miles for £6,000.
And then almost the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
You know, the sort of retro Vespers and stuff.
Paul, can't tell you, but please keep it a secret, all right? Because I don't want anybody to know about this.
Right, just between you and me, Cal. Yeah.
Nobody else, all right? Seriously. I actually like scooters. Do you?
Again, it's a guilty pleasure.
Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
No, we won't tell.
Because of the old 50s retro style, you know, you can't look at that and not think, you know,
This
riding through the Italian Riviera,
Mate.
you know, on something like that. I mean, that's, you know, horses for courses, isn't it? But yeah,
I think
Lake Como on one of those.
Mate, it'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they're brilliant.
Yeah.
And thank goodness for scooters, because they're totally different to motorcycles, aren't they? So
That's
you know, but
thank goodness we've all got different tastes. Otherwise, we'd all be riding around on the same bike. Wouldn't we?
I was actually in Italy, and I had a CVO Street Glide, cruising along, and a couple of these actually overtook me.
Yeah.
It's a couple of Italians. Honestly, they were immaculate.
Yeah.
You know, and they looked fantastic.
Well, that's it.
And they're overtaking. You know, I was doing about 60, I think. But no, I'll never forget it. It's brilliant. Brilliant. That's what motorcycling is all about. Isn't it?
It is.
So, right. So we've got loads of Ducatis there, BMW. Right, that's sold.
Classic corner over there.
We must go over there. Yeah, we got that. This is a Vosges 500, because it's a 525 now. I took one of those out. Very impressed with that. I've got to say, is that the Honda engine in that? Do you think?
I would say I wouldn't call it exactly the Honda engine, but if you put them side by side,
they
you
look
definitely
similar.
see the similarity.
Yeah.
The design philosophy is going to be exactly the same.
Yeah. Well, that's £3,000. That's 7,000 miles, £3,000.
Yeah.
That's an awful lot of motorcycle, isn't it, for that sort of money? You know.
500cc adventure tour.
Yeah. Brilliant. So listen, if you want a scooter, if you want a BMW touring bike, if you want a classic bike,
your first bike,
125,
got that as well, and then
we've got the classic corner, haven't we? You know, I mean, you got obviously it's a barn find. So if you want to do something, have a project, honestly, it's worth coming in at least once a week, really, because if you are lucky. Oh, I've just seen something. Yes. The Sturgis. I haven't seen one of those 40 years ago. That's
there's only 2 for sale in the whole of the country.
Say that again.
There's going to be 2 for sale. I think that is one of 2 that's for sale in the whole of the country.
Wow.
And again, there's probably not many available at all. I think they only just made over 3,500 worldwide.
So it's collectible.
It's a very collectible bike, which is why, you know, collectible price.
Yeah. But on saying that, I mean, you know, if you keep a bike long enough, if it's a right bike, you get your money back and some, don't you? You know, I mean, look at the bikes we've had over the years. I'm sure you're the same as me. Some of the bikes. Were worth 2, 3, 4 times the amount of money of what we paid for them back in the 80s. You know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Someone who's got a knucklehead or a panhead Harley now. Oh, God, the price of those.
Yeah. Right, so look at that. You've got Thunderbird, GS. Look, I think this is good value as well. I love these. The ZXR 12S. And look at that, look, $4,000, and you've got the boxes. You're not going to lose a lot of money, even if you part exchange
a lot of this stuff, you could buy it, ride it around for 12 months. I mean, obviously, we have our cost to sell a bike.
Of course, yeah.
So if we do get people coming in and say, well, I've seen that, the same price privately. Yeah. Well, again, you look after it. You could probably, if you sold it yourself, get your money back.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that. I mean, if that was an Eddie Lawson replica, you know, if it was like the green, the Eddie Lawson with a little bikini fairing.
Oh, yeah, it'd be a lot more.
You're talking big, $8,000-10,000, I would have thought, if not more. You know,
got up to that.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Anyway, I will leave you to your perusing.
Give me 5. Thank you, mate. Thanks, Paul.
No problem.
Brilliant. So when you're up at Speed Superbike Centre, come and see Paul. You know, he's very enthusiastic. He's been here years. And honestly, it's a seriously good dealership to come to. Well worth a visit. They also, up there, along there, they sell helmets, jackets, everything. They've got a great workshop. Not allowed in there at the moment. They're busy, but their workshop's great. The team's great. They're all passionate about motorcycles. And honestly, it's worth coming up, because I'm still looking around now. There's a Hayabusa there. Look at that. They've got everything. Look at this, a rocket for $5,500. And it looks, everything here is nice. You know, I mean, some of the classic bikes obviously are showing their age, are bound to, because they're old, you know, but at the end of the day, hey Tom, what do you think, mate?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
You like it up here, don't you, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got end cans there. Lexa. Yeah, and also incredible good value. Look at that.
£149.99 for that one.
Yeah, it's really cheap.
Yes, isn't it?
Cheap's not the word. I never use the word cheap.
It's good value.
Good value, but it is. But it is extremely well made. Yeah, nice. Right, so when you're up, come up here. And always give them a ring, see what's in stock. But also there'll be a description and a link in the description below. Okay, so yeah, Speed Superbike Centre on the 27th of March.
2025.
2025.
2025.
Hey, listen, Jane and I are off. We're off next week, aren't we?
Camping.
We're camping on Dave and Harry, so please follow us. It's going to be great. Hey, until next time. Hey, Tom, come here. Come here. All right, say bye.
Bye.
All right, see you guys. You take care. Bye.